Hello again. Today, or this time, we are going to study Bitcoin adoption in 2021, in 2022, and we will see in the conclusion what's going to happen in 2023 and beyond. 2024, I remind you, would be the year of halving, so 2025 should be amazing as well. But what I want to describe today is that until 2020, the Bitcoin adoption was mainly from a retail point of view, like people like you and me. And suddenly in 2021, what we call institutional adoption started to kick in. And one of the most important person in this movement is Michael Saylor, who is the CEO of a company which is absolutely crazy, considered crazy from the rest of Wall Street, is MicroStrategy. Why? Because Michael Saylor decided to suddenly invest 100% of all his liquidity into Bitcoin. And this was like a massive boom in the corporate world. And in 2021, everybody was looking at him like, this man is crazy. But little by little, he convinced, or other CEOs starting to look into that. And Elon Musk started as well. He bought like 4 billion worth of Bitcoin, and a lot of hedge funds now in 2022 beginning are looking at the possibilities. Not only hedge funds, but a lot of corporations are looking at putting Bitcoin in their balance sheet. All right. So this is very important. 2021 and 2022 would be really the years that you will remember as the beginning of the Bitcoin adoption, which is amazing at many levels, and we're going to see that today. And just for you to remember what this Pompliano, I recommend him, is a good influencer on YouTube, says is that all of that happened without a CEO, a community manager on social media strategy, meaning that Bitcoin is spreading on its own. And only because, as we've seen before, its fundamentals are absolutely incredible as a new store of value. And a lot of people now, and corporations, we're going to see that, see Bitcoin as the new gold, what we call the gold 2.0. So this institutional adoption, Dan Held talked a lot about it. I recommend as well Dan Held, who is really a very serious guy. You have to follow him. He's got like a weekly letter, which is quite amazing. So this is one tweet of this Dan Held, which works actually for Kraken. And these are the names, and it published that in 2021. So now we are beyond that. We are in 2022, and this is obviously bigger. But all these companies, Fidelity, JP Morgan, Bloomberg, Deutsche Bank, Citibank, Jeffrey, BlackRock, we'll talk about that, are recognizing like Bitcoin is gold. And this is something absolutely incredible. And this is what is going to help the 2022-2023 adoption of Bitcoin, because these companies now are looking at gold as an old thing, which is not so good as Bitcoin. This is a true revolution, okay? And Bloomberg, which they are not really communist or are really people talking about nonsense about economy and stuff. This Mike McGlone, who is Bloomberg Intelligence, really clever guy, says what we've been actually explaining in this course. He says here that the Bitcoin is becoming a digital version of gold. Why? Because the demand is the key thing here. So we can go back to the stock to flow ratio and the program scarcity, which is embedded in Bitcoin. And it says that it's right, is what we are saying in this course, and many older courses are saying as well, that you've got only 21 million coin, for the time being, maybe 18.5, let's say around 19 million at the end of 2021, 2-3, and every week, okay, 2 or 3 million people buy Bitcoin, not one Bitcoin because it's impossible, but one bit, a little bit, $100 worth of Bitcoin, 20 euros, but you've got new users between 3 and 4 million worldwide. So this dynamic, meaning scarcity of this asset and a lot of people wanting it, means that the price is going to go up, up, up. And as McGlone says here, in 2024, we are going to have a halving. So you are going to have like a shock supply, and 2025 or 2026 will be totally crazy, because not only institution would be in Bitcoin, but as well, we can start talking about a hyper Bitcoinization, which means like not everyone, corporations, institutions, countries, central banks, and people are going to buy Bitcoin. So in conclusion, you have to remember that everything started in 2021, and the first company buying was MicroStrategy, with its CEO, Michael Saylor, who is now a total worldwide star, because he did something extraordinary and very crazy. But when you hear him talking about the justification of his choice, it's very convincing. I recommend you to follow him on YouTube. And then you've got other very prominent figures like Elon Musk, who bought between 2 and 3 billion, we don't know exactly, but between him personally and his companies, he's got already a lot. And you have to understand that a company can't, even if the CEO of a company decides to invest in Bitcoin, let's say 5% of its worth, you have to understand that from tax purposes, accounting purposes, it depends on the country where you are. You need to be very careful and be in line with all the regulations. So it takes time. So between the decision of a CEO who can say to the board, okay, let's go for it, let's buy Bitcoin, and the moment they actually buy it, you can say like, you can have like a year, okay? So a lot of companies in 2021 and at the beginning of 2022 decided to buy Bitcoin, but what I just said, if you take it on board, it will take time, and you can really think that at the beginning of 2023, you will have a massive amount of companies saying, we bought Bitcoin and we put it on our balance sheet. So 2022 is going to be the fastest company are going to declare that, yes, we've got even banks, we've got now Bitcoin, our balance sheet, et cetera, but the avalanche is going to come at the last quarter of 2022 and 2023. And I'm just talking about institutions and corporations, but don't forget that this 2021 as well was the year where the first country in the world accepted Bitcoin as a legal tender, which is El Salvador, very tiny country, very poor, but this is good. It started a trend which is going to be followed. And a lot of analysts said that 2022 will see another country accepting Bitcoin as a legal tender. In 2023, 2024, every year more and more country and the central bank, and maybe in 2023 or 4, a country from the, a Western country will accept or get Bitcoin in its balance sheet. At that point, Bitcoin will skyrocket, basically. So remember, the next big step would be hedge funds investing heavily, which are already doing it, but for paperwork and stuff like that, it takes time. And what you have to expect in 2022, 2023 is other countries, central bank, and many, many corporations entering Bitcoin. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.